Is that who we're having first?
Yeah, this is Jeff Bennett. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Is that you, Jeff Bennett?
It is,
Hello.
yes.
Okay, welcome. So this is Morari Medical. This is our first startup that we'll be pitching tonight. I'd like to introduce CEO Jeff Bennett. And Morari Medical has invented a wearable, chemical-free patch to treat premature ejaculation and related sexual dysfunctions in penis owners. And so I just want to make sure you can hear us and everything's good, Jeff.
I can hear you just fine. Can you see the slides and hear me?
Great, we're good. Okay, so I am the one in charge of time. So I'm going to start. Are you ready to pitch? I'm going to start the 4-minute timer. Are you ready?
All right, let's go.
Yep. Okay, and let's begin.
Well, in the next few minutes that it takes me to deliver this pitch, 30% of men would have experienced an ejaculation due to a condition known as premature ejaculation. And yes, during this pitch, I just did say ejaculation. But the reality is that premature ejaculation is the #1 male sexual dysfunction, far greater in prevalence than an enlarged prostate, and surprisingly greater in prevalence than erectile dysfunction. Yet it's something you don't hear about. It's not a topic that men want to discuss with each other. My name is Jeff Bennett, CEO and founder of Morari Medical, and we're bringing to market the world's first wearable patch to delay an ejaculation. The market opportunity is significant. Not only does 30% of men suffer from premature ejaculation, which the clinical definition is 2 minutes or less after penetration, but we estimate there's another 40% of men out there that don't meet the clinical definition, but are looking to last longer, either because they or their partner are looking to last longer. So that means 70% of men walking around at some point in time looking to extend the experience of an ejaculation. And I'm one of those 70% of men, and that's the reason for founding the company. Now, the impact of premature ejaculation is obviously not life or death. This is about quality of life, and ultimately it's about mental health. As we've heard today, there's a lot of pleasure and wellness that can occur with the sexual health and relationship of couples that ultimately lead to mental health. And some of our research with men, we asked them, what word describes your feelings when you deal with premature ejaculation? We heard words such as oops, disappointment, frustration. We also asked female partners that same question and heard similar words, disappointment, frustrated, and annoyed. And as we've continued to research the impact on partners, whether that partner is male or female, it's become very clear that the true person that's, in addition to the male suffering, is that partner, and that they're not being satisfied. So there's an opportunity really to satisfy both the male as well as their partner couple in this opportunity. So published impact of PE, it's well known in the literature. It has relationship issues, it has performance anxiety, and increased levels of stress, which ultimately, again, lead to overall lower quality of life as well as mental health. Current treatment options for PE have been around for years. There's been no innovation in this space for over 20 years. Current treatment options include drugs, which are actually antidepressants and have a side effect of delaying ejaculation, but they also have many other side effects associated with them. And then there's sprays and creams that can be applied to the penis, and they can rub off on the partner or take a long time to effect. So again, no innovation in this space for over 20 years. We are using neural stimulation, which is a proven technology to impact nerves in the body. It's been used safely and effectively for many, many years, and that's the technology approach that we're using. Essentially, what we're doing is developing a wearable patch that can be worn during intercourse. It's worn in the perineum, that's the area between the scrotum and the anus, and it uses mild electrical impulses to delay or confuse the nerves that control an ejaculation. So no drugs, no creams, no pain, no discomfort. And oh, by the way, this will be controlled by an app, so you can customize your settings and save those for your future use. Testimonials, we've got many testimonials. We do not have revenue generation yet. The team, I am joined by experts in neurophysiology, as well as urology and sexual medicine. I'm proud to announce that Kate LaBrose has joined our team as our first female senior manager, and she'll be leading our commercialization effort. From a traction standpoint, we've developed a working prototype. We completed a feasibility study with 10 couples and achieved a 45% increase in overall time. We filed intellectual property, and this year at the Consumer Electronics Show, we were named the most interesting medical gadgets. And we've got over 2,000 customers in our database waiting for our product right now. Back in 2019, we were one of 4 companies that Procter & Gamble invited to their first ever innovation challenge, which we won, which was a major example of how consumer goods companies that are not in sexual health and wellness today are embracing the idea that sexual health and wellness is real, thriving, and has growth potential. Our strategy for launching...
And stop. No, you're good. It was lovely. I felt rude for coming in. Okay, so your 4 minutes is up. Thank you so much, Jeff Bennett. I totally forgot to introduce myself. I'm Alexis Smiley-Smith. I'm the co-founder of Cybrothel in Berlin and the voice of the interactive sex doll, Kokeshi. Okay, so I'm going to hand off the mic to our panel, our jury panel, for Q&A.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks so much for the presentation. A couple questions. How much do you intend on charging? Do I need a prescription to get this? What is the chemical makeup, if any? And since I have to, well, someone has to put on their anus, does that mean this is only for heterosexual activities and no anal play?
Great question. So there are no chemicals. There are chemicals in the sense that we have an adhesive which holds the patch to the skin, but those are all adhesives that are medical grade that have been proven on medical applications to include neonatal babies. So we're actually using adhesive that is very skin friendly. From the standpoint of where it's worn in the area between the scrotum and the anus. So, position more towards the anus allows for greater intensification of the ejaculation experience, but it is a product that we believe has an opportunity in the gay community. There's, again, it's a male issue, but in addition to the benefits of delay in ejaculation, our feasibility study showed this intensification of the ejaculation experience. So I'm not sure if that answered your last question, but what was your first question?
Just that, how much would you charge, and would one need a prescription for this?
Yeah, no prescription. Our commercialization strategy is directly to the consumer. You don't want to have to go to the doctor to get a prescription or talk about this. So we will be sold on our own e-commerce site directly to the consumer, so no prescription. And then from a pricing standpoint, we have a classic razor blade business model where there will be a reusable, rechargeable electronics module that will be paired with a single-use patch. That single-use patch, we're looking to retail for $10 per patch. It's one and done. You wouldn't be able to reuse the patch, but the module you would be. And we're looking to price that in the $200 retail range, which gives us some ability for bundling and discounts as needed.
Hey, Jeff, great presentation. What would the brand name of this product be? Is it going to be Morari, or you have decided the
Great
brand
question.
name?
Yeah, we haven't decided the brand name yet. I know it will not be Morari. Mora in Latin means delay. And that's where we came up with Morari, is to delay an ejaculation. That's the vision of the company. But it is not going to be the brand name. We actually just, in the last 2 weeks, formalized a relationship with a branding company. I live in Minneapolis, home of Target, General Mills, 3M, so a lot of good consumer-based companies here. We were weak on the consumer side of things. We've added some team members to beef up the strength from a consumer standpoint, but we're working with an agency that has a lot of experience on the consumer side. And by the end of this year, we plan to launch what that brand's going to be. And we're pretty excited about the name as well as where the brand's going. So stay tuned.
Wonderful. And then a second question, where do you foresee this being sold primarily? Would you think it's a pharmacy kind of a product, a department store, online only? Where do you think will the demand mostly come from?
Yeah, our phase one of the launch will be directly to the consumers online. We've talked about getting on to retail shelves, but there's still that embarrassment factor of someone having to go to the aisle, pick that product up, and even with self-checkout, there's a barrier of potentially embarrassment there. So we want to follow the playbook that Roman and Hims and others have done, where they're allowing that product to be shipped discreetly to people's homes without having the embarrassment have to go into a retail store. Now we're going to further explore that because, as everybody knows, there's more and more sexual health wellness products that you can buy online through retail such as Walmart, Boots, CVS, where they're not in shelf, but you can buy it online. So we'll evaluate those opportunities in the future, as well as companies such as yourselves. We want to look at many different distribution options, but initially phase one of the launch is going to our over 2,000 customers that have signed up right now and selling that to an online dedicated website.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, Jeff. Gary Atborn. Again, just to echo, it was a really good presentation. Thank you. Question I've got is, what do you see as the biggest challenge between now and you launching the product, or challenges between now? What are the things that you need to focus and are concerned about?
Fundraising is always there. You know, we're always raising money. You know, it's been a challenge getting traditional venture capital to want to invest in a product in a company such as this. So where we've had success is through angel investors. We're looking to raise $3.5 million to get us to a commercial state. We've raised $1 million of that so far. So we need another $2.5 million to get us through our milestones from a development, from a branding, and building the team perspective. So that is probably our number one challenge. Number two is, because we're delivering energy to tissue, we do need to submit this to the FDA for approval as a 510K Class 2 device. There is some risk there. We're not using a technology that's new, so we think we've got an adequate predicate to use in terms of neurostimulation. But there is risk anytime you're working with regulatory groups.
Okay, and stop. I hate to be that, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Jeff Bennett. Really wonderful presentation. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, and also